Welcome to another Delia Secondary Lunch and Learn, informal teacher PD every Wednesday at lunch. This week's topic is audio in the classroom, and this includes but is not limited to podcasting projects. Now I promised we would discover the power of audio tools to assist ESL students, and I don't just mean those students who are in specific ESL classes, but as you know, the majority of our students are not native English speakers, so a lot of these strategies apply to all different classrooms across grade levels and content subject areas. So I'm going to start with how we can use audio just to empower our ESL students in our everyday classes. The first way you can use audio in your class is for brainstorming or pre-writing. Now this is a strategy that I didn't even think to use as an English teacher, but at a conference recently this came up as a really powerful tool to help kids translate the ideas they have in their head down on paper. As we know, there's usually a strong disconnect between the great ideas our students have and then translating that into English words. So we can use audio as a way for them just to get their ideas out, and then they can almost just scribe their ideas that they've recorded. And you can use something really simple like a built-in recorder on their phones or on their laptops, but just get them to get their ideas out of them and so that they can then turn it into writing. Google Docs now also has built-in voice typing, so students can speak into their laptops and it will kind of scribe for them. Now it's not perfect, but I think this is actually an advantage because students then have to go back and correct the writing, so you're still getting the practice writing in there. Another way we can use audio in the class is for checking student understanding. A lot of our courses are content-based and more specific knowledge from the students and not specifically a text-based answer. So you could have students use voice audio recordings as their answers to different comprehension questions that you're asking them. Ina is a great tool to add audio comments to Google Docs or slides. Another way we can use audio in the classroom is to encourage verbal fluency. While we do promote a lot of collaborative activities at the school, I suspect that it is possible for a shy student to get through the entire day without speaking. And our middle school ESL teacher, Mr. Rose, picked up on this idea and decided to give them the opportunity to speak through a podcasting project that he does. So he gets the students just to talk about something that they're really passionate about, whether it be a sport or a painting or a celebrity, but just get their voices out there so that they can practice their speaking. Here's some examples from some of his students.
Hey guys, welcome to NBA News.
Hey, do you know the most popular pop star in the world?
Isangpil will introduce you to Korean food.
Audio can be a very powerful tool in our everyday classrooms, especially when working with ESL students. Next, I'm going to talk about podcasting projects, some inspiration if you're looking to take on a more large-scale audio project with your students. Now, the king of podcasts, our grade 7 English teacher, Mr. Williams, has done several different projects with his kids over the years, so I'm going to walk you through some of the examples that he's done. When I first came to the school, he was doing a project based on the This American Life podcast, which essentially tells 3 different stories each episode based around a common theme. So he took this idea and ran with it with his grade 7s and created This Hong Kong Life. So here he had the young students explore the issues that they're really going through at this moment around a central theme and create their own podcasts. So here's a snippet from one.
What if I threw a big hairy spider at you, or brought you to the top of a building so high when you looked down people looked like tiny ants? How would you feel? Would you be scared? I'm Regina, and this is This Hong Kong Life.
His next podcast project was about Mars One, and this is the community that they're looking to build on Mars. And the company was sending out pleas for people to kind of persuade them into being one of the 100 people chosen to live in this community. So Mr. Williams saw this as a fantastic opportunity to get the kids to create podcasts using persuasion techniques. So here's an example from one of the students.
For years, I have wanted to go into space, but the closest I ever got was was 50,000 feet above. Cockpit, I could see the stars, but I knew going higher would result in me stalling. Then, I heard about Mars 1. I knew I had nothing to lose. I'm Ayush Neoli, an Air Force pilot from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'd be the perfect candidate for the Mars 1 program. I'm not like any other candidate you'll get. I'm better. The Air Force has trained me for situations in space. I've flown parabolic orcs, in which I've experienced zero-G. I've also had survival training. I know how to ration food and make my own supplies.
What I really like about this project is that it really motivates the students to write a persuasive script for their podcast. So they don't really see it as an essay, they see it as a script for this podcast that they're creating. And then you can also bring in a lot of expectations from the media literacy strand and teaching them about visual cues to support their writing or their speaking. Here's James plans to do a podcasting project based on the Moth, which is more of a storytelling podcast. He really wants the students to work on their writer's craft. So I look forward to what the grade 7 students put out next year. The software that he uses with his students is Audacity, which is free open source audio editing software that works on PC and on Macs. It's a bit daunting at first for the middle school students to learn how to use, but within a few lessons, they're able to piece together a lot of really great things. This is what the software looks like. If you want help using this with your students, I'm happy to come in and do a workshop or just kind of be your hands on deck while you're rolling out this new technology. There's also a lot of really great websites where you can find free to use music and sound effects. I've included a link to a document with more instructions there. For audio in the classroom, including podcasting projects, anyone that attended earned 50 points for the Delia Tech Challenge, and I hope to see you next time for Delia Secondary Lunch and Learn, informal teacher PD every Wednesday at lunch.